Tony Robbins here. Welcome to the inaugural Mates Rates BetterHelp. Sorry, not BetterHelp. Bettering Yourself session, I guess. I'm here with Sammy.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here, Tony.
Tom,
Hi, guy.
and Krista.
Hey, Tony, what are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's me, Tony Robbins.
Hi, Tony. I'm such a big fan.
Thanks. What's your favorite book of mine?
Definitely got to be Awaken the Giant Within. That run really turned my life around, especially in that beautiful parable in there about how when the Soviets were versing the US in ice hockey.
Oh, yeah, I know the one. I wrote the book.
Yeah, that was really moving to me, and how much he talked about what it's going to be like moving into the new millennium, approaching 2000.
Well, do you feel like you need to be helped? Do you feel like you could be better?
Yeah, but Tony, also, what about those allegations?
Hang on.
Because there were some allegations about 10 years ago that you haven't really addressed.
Well, that is not what we're talking about today.
Apparently you're sort of... forget it.
I feel like people can change, guy.
People can change. Thank you, Tom.
I paid a lot of money to be here, and you're ruining the vibe.
Right, I just got a free ticket, so like I'm actually...
You got it for free?
Well, I'm here with press, media, so I'm just here to kind of report on it.
All right, we'll cut the music for a second because Sammy, I've word from the top that you've just come from Queensland.
Yeah, I came from Queensland for this seminar specifically.
Did you want to share with the seminar?
So what does this have to do with the seminar?
Yeah, Tony, I think he just wants to talk a little bit about his
Well,
trip
no,
to-
but if it's self-developed, is there an angle that this
There's an angle. This is self-development, and that would be...
I guess introducing the mentorees to the program. So my name's Tom. I've just come today from Sydney to be here.
I'm Krista. I've also just come from Sydney.
I'm Sammy. I've come from Sydney, but I was in Queensland over the weekend.
Really?
I've never been to Queensland. What's it like?
Well, Queensland's really interesting, Tony, because, it's sort of just to put it in a context you might understand, it's a little bit like the Texas of Australia.
Right.
So I was there on sort of, I guess, a self-development sort of, is that sort of the through line? Yeah, because, I'm trying to learn about, I guess, other cultures, but also I was on sort of a business trip creating a sort of documentary about trucking. And let me tell you, I had no interest in trucking before. I have no interest in trucking now, but wow, there's a rich tapestry of trucking out there. That's all I can say.
What sort of truckers did you meet?
Well, all the legends.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name drop the legendary company and sort of the legendary people that worked there.
Right.
But let's just say in the early 2000s, this company went... Actually, how much information should I give about this client? None. But
Yeah, maybe more the vibe.
but we were traveling around. We were on the truckers road trip. We were meeting some of the old truckers from back in the day to create sort of a documentary film for this company. And wow, all I can say is that if you get me in a fucking Kenworth, double stack, 12 diff, okay, you get me shooting through from Sydney to Coffs.
Shooting up.
That is bliss to me. That is just
Wow.
where I'm at my absolute prime.
Is that the vibe you took from
That's
the truckers?
they
loved it.
When you're out on the road, I mean, not now. There's too many rules and regulations, right?
yeah.
But in the glory days of trucking, you'd pull up to the depot. You'd pull up to the depot. You'd get given your
meth.
Well, that's not what we call it. You get your pills. All right.
Okay, right.
You get just a couple pills, cheeky pills. Maybe a bit of ox blood. That's another thing we used to take.
Actual blood?
No, it's called ox blood, mate. It's the liquid form of, meth. And we take that and we just gun through the night. We go Sydney to Brisbane overnight. We used to do it in about 5 hours, mate.
Really?
So you were interviewing these guys and they were saying this on camera?
Well, not on camera. This was sort of the off camera.
This was like when you were having a Bundy cracking
Well,
it.
see, that's the difference, Chris, though, between trucking then and now. There's
Yeah.
too many rules and regulations, all right? You can't take your little sharpeners to get you. Sydney to Brisbane takes, how many hours does it take, Tom?
10?
10 hours. Back in the day, we used to shoot through in 7. It wasn't a problem.
Yeah, because now there's the average speed cameras.
Well, now there's the average speed cameras. There's too many rules and regulations. And now you got bloody cameras looking at you, making sure that you're not falling asleep. They beep you if you fall asleep.
Dude, yeah, the cameras in the cab, I've heard about this. Imagine if you're driving your normal car and there was a camera on you the entire time.
Yeah. Some of the modern ones have that.
Oh, like the
They
dash
tell you if
cams.
your eye is going off the road. It's like, keep your eyes on the road.
Oh, sorry, I saw a kangaroo.
Yeah, sorry, it's a beautiful landscape out the window.
Yeah.
So that's what all the truckers experience now. But let me tell you,
So wait, why can't they do meth anymore? Because of RBT or?
well, it's, you know,
Does it show up?
It's a little out of favor, I guess.
I guess
There
they're
is
getting older as
RDTs.
well.
No, they're just the companies don't do meth anymore, Chris. It's woke. It's probably just woke,
yeah, it is
honestly.
woke.
It's just loony left stuff. But also, what really opened my eyes and blew my mind about this weekend and really made sure that I was never the same again was just I'd never thought. First of all, I didn't think there was much to discuss in the trucking world. You know, obviously you got your Kenworths, you got your
That's
Fords.
first mistake, isn't it?
That was my first mistake. What I didn't realize that for 6 whole days you could talk about exclusively trucking and nothing else.
Wow.
That's what basically I'd say 90% of the conversations that I'd witnessed were about trucking. Whether that be,
insane.
taking a load from Sydney to Coffs, whether that be pulling up to the depot, whether that be, that's when I was running that's when I was running in a Kenworth. Obviously, I started in a Ford, got to Kenworth, and went back to a Ford. But when I joined the company, and I went to David, the head of the company, David. He was a good boss. He just all he wanted was that you tell him the truth.
Yeah, all right. That's all he wanted. Yeah.
Okay, that's all he wanted. And I said to him, I'll only start if I'm getting Kenworth pay. And he went, mate, you're not getting Kenworth pay. Well, if I'm starting on a Kenworth, I want Kenworth pay from the start. And he ended up respecting me for that.
This is like the ultimate blokes chat where you don't have to talk about your feelings or anything because there's so much to talk about with trucking.
And they also found it hilarious that me and Mitch, who I was on the road trip with, they found it hilarious that we didn't know anything about trucks.
they found it hilarious.
They found that hilarious. They're like, how could you not know about trucks? That was kind of the vibe I got.
That's great.
Would you want to? I sort of collected a few funny quotes that I heard because really trucking lexicon is beautiful.
Run us through them.
They just have a real way with words. One I heard is if it doesn't happen in Coffs Harbour, it doesn't happen.
Okay, is that
that's
is that a reference to if it's not going through Coffs, it's barely not worth doing?
It just means anything that's happening out there in bloody Sydney or Melbourne, we don't care about. If it's not happening in Coffs, as far as I'm concerned, it's not happening.
I like that.
Wow. So when we do our Mates Rates live show at some point, we'll have to.
If it's not in Coffs.
If it's not in Coffs, it's not
And
happening.
then this is a term to sort of describe I guess a strong engine or a strong person. You'd say, mate, he could pull Christ off the cross if he could get hooked on.
Oh, that's really
That's
good.
a nice one.
That's great.
Can you not give the context for the next one and we'll see if we can figure it out?
Okay, I won't give the context. Sorry, I haven't eaten today and I've had nothing but black coffee, so I'm kind of just I'm a little bit.
Is that a quote?
No, that's just me. That's just
That would
me.
mean
I'm just not speaking as smoothly as I might.
No,
'Cause I'm a
that's
little
all right.
strung out. So I might say to you, don't you like the color?
Okay, because I know trucking has a lot of customization. Is it that simple?
No,
Okay.
it's on the road. It is on the road. Something you might say on the road.
I have no idea.
It's really simple, Christo. It's essentially if you're waiting at the lights
I was gonna
and
say
you're in the
lights
passenger
related.
seat and the light's gone green, but the driver hasn't moved yet. You go, mate, don't you like the color? That's a really
good.
fun one.
That's great.
And then this is just something that one of the blokes said. Where were we? I think we're at the pub and he just talked to this publican that he knew. And he said, I said to this Sheila, I said, do you still love me? She said, nah. I said, great, because she's fucking ugly. I can't even really remember the context of that. That was just a little beautiful, rich tapestry that I got to witness.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, and then just another one is that got pulled around a lot. That got wheeled out a lot was saying sure as eggs.
Sure as
Sure as
eggs.
eggs.
Yeah, mate, sure as eggs.
What about sad as an egg?
Well, that's
Sad
what
as
that
an
was.
Yeah, we started saying that the other week, so we're onto something.
And then there was hopping around like a staple-fed emu.
Interesting.
So that just means a staple-fed emu is they're getting fed a staple diet. They're well-fed.
Oh,
so
not-
they're hopping around a lot. They've got heaps of energy.
They're not being fed like staples.
No, they're getting a
Right, from a
staple
staple.
diet.
Yeah, interesting.
They're getting everything they need for their nutrition.
And they're hopping around because they're like, I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah, interesting. That's
So
good.
that was the road trip.
Thank
Mackay in Queensland. Tell you what, it's a big town. It's a lot bigger than you think. But anyway,
It's not better than Coffs though.
I could talk all day. I mean, if it's not happening in Coffs.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I cannot wait to go to Mackay. That sounds great, Sammy.
Tony, you're still here.
Yeah, I've been listening the whole time.
Wow.
And one thing, to start our self-betterment, we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to cut the crap.
Right.
We need to tell ourselves what hasn't worked and what will not work in the future. So,
right, with regards to...
Christo, you take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. I actually didn't think I was
Thanks,
going to
Tony.
be running this, but yeah, he just handed me a bit of paper and it says hobbies graveyard.
Right.
And then underneath it, it says...
That's so funny because I don't see a piece of paper in your hand. You're just like holding it as if you're miming that there's a piece of paper.
Yeah, he gave me mime paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty...
Well, actually, he seems to be invisible as well. So I
Yeah,
guess
actually,
Yeah.
yeah. We couldn't get him. We had to get Invisible Tony. He's quite expensive to fly down. But he wants to know what hobbies you've had in the past that have ended up in the graveyard.
Okay. Why does he want to know that?
For his own personal records, mostly. And
Okay.
it sort of helps.
I guess it's like admit what hasn't worked for you in the past so you can move forward and awaken the giant with
Yeah,
it.
well, you can awaken the giant and you can be true to yourself, be honest to yourself. Don't lie to yourself by being like, I'm into this hobby. It's not for you.
Yeah, some hobbies you can't pull off the cross, even with a hook.
Even if you could get hooked on,
Yeah.
you still couldn't pull Christ
Yeah,
off the
some
cross.
hobbies you get going, but you don't like the color.
No.
You're not going.
Some hobbies, like, if they're not happening in cops, they're not happening. But you should still be able to do them.
That's a callback.
Tom, I feel like you're a hobby guy.
Yeah.
You love a hobby. You love a bit of
hobbyist?
kit. Love a bit of kit.
Yeah, no, I love kit. I love hobbies. I love having quite a few on cruising altitude.
Okay.
A lot take off.
Yeah.
I got like a B double. It's taken off.
That's a trucking reference.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So we're just
Kenworth or Ford? Or?
I don't know if Ford had trucks.
No, Ford has trucks, mate.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So there's Kenworth, Ford are the big ones, and then Volvo, we fucking bloody European. Short nose Volvos.
Yeah, that's a woke truck.
I always drive, well, I like to drive an SAR, short nose Australian made right hand drive.
Oh, great.
That's just sort of it's got to be SAR
It's
for me.
got to
It's
be
gotta
right
be
hand,
SAR.
yeah.
Although I do love a long nose truck as well, but you don't need double stacks. Do you have two engines? Do you have two engines?
nah.
No, you don't need two
okay.
stacks.
Yeah, yeah.
Stack is like the chimney thing.
Yeah, right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a bunch on cruising altitude.
What are on cruising at the moment?
I guess, well, fuck, I like bike riding. I like feeting.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
snowboarding.
Yeah.
There's plenty other ones.
Bike riding looked like it was almost going into the graveyard for a second, but then it had a
Because you were
resurgence.
huge on
You were
cycling
big.
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah.
I'm even going to call it cycling.
Yeah, call it cycling.
Because you had the kit. You were
Lycra.
You had the lycra. You had the
I was
bum pad.
gifted the Lycra, and I think that's very important.
You bought the bum padded pants though. You did.
No, that was part of the kit.
That was hashtag gifted
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Wow.
But I figured out I'm not a road guy. But I really like just getting around. I think that's as far as it's gonna get.
So you're not a road cyclist.
No, fuck no.
What about a downhill mountain bikist?
Nah,
Okay.
it's more of a different thing. God, yeah. What about? I'll just need to think for a second.
Do you
about,
think any of your cruising ones are headed to the graveyard?
Oh, God, honestly, I think I'm juggling the perfect amount right now.
Wow.
So what do you have? Fishing, cycling, snowboarding.
Snowboarding's a way of life, brother.
Okay. Sure.
Bouldering?
Bouldering.
Oh, that's still in there. Yeah, I'm still doing that a fair bit.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
there's
it, that
something
ebb and
else.
flow.
Fly fishing you were toying with.
Oh,
is-
that fucking died. But that's also
because
fishing.
it's too hard.
It's just such a snooze fest as well. It's way too hard.
Really?
Well, it's a snooze fest because it takes too long to get good.
Well, let me go into my mind,
Yeah,
pals.
Sammy, what do
I
you
feel like
think?
I've had many things that like I was gonna start but never did. I recently bought some Lego. That was great for one. But like I wasn't trying to start up a hobby.
Sammy, what about the elephant in the room, surfing?
I don't want to talk about that yet because
Okay.
I think it's still ongoing. And I did.
Okay.
Well, you're right. I guess I did a solid month and I haven't done it since.
I thought that was still a state secret.
Well, it was
They
meant to
won't
be
listen to this
secret.
podcast.
Okay.
It was meant to be secret because we were going to surprise our bloody elitist wank surfer friends that, you know, I could surf really well. But I did that month. I did that sort of course and it was still really hard at the end of that. So I think I learned a lot and I think I'm getting close to hanging 10, but it's just...
So is that in the graveyard, or is it's like a month away from?
The grave's being dug, but I don't want to
fresh
put it
dirt,
in yet. I
fresh
don't want to
dirt,
put it in
yeah.
yet.
Bouldering, definitely grave.
That's
Oh,
graveyard. I
yeah.
did, but that was a pretty good, like almost a year I was doing a bit of bouldering.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then after a while, I realized maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
My forearms are too sore.
Similar vein. I feel like bouldering's like teetering because like I was off it for ages. Then I went back and was like, oh, it's still fun, and I've still got the aforementioned kit.
Yeah, I still have the shoes.
But the one for me that like went into the graveyard, I think, was like hiking.
Interesting.
Was that a proper hobby?
It
Because for
was
me, hiking
emerging.
is something that everyone will do.
Yeah.
I know, but for me, I was
some
like,
point
oh,
in the
maybe
year.
I'll get into like going on the weekends and like
Sure.
staying a night hiking, like doing this, like doing that did it a couple
thought about
times
that too.
And then I was just like, oh, it's just so much effort. Just like I like nature, but like after like hour 6 in nature, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind something else.
If I had to like put my own thumbprint on my feeling towards that
Yeah.
for you, was like it felt like maybe you were like at the gate of the airport.
Yeah,
Did it
yeah.
even like take off?
Well, I feel like I did a couple, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was
Chris,
just
so I
like-
think your problem with hiking is that you still subscribe to the troglodyte belief that you need ankle support in your hiking
Oh, yeah,
shoes
that's
or
crazy. Yeah,
boots.
you don't need that.
So he has those
Oh, yeah.
big, ugly ones with the heels. It's like, mate, let your ankle support itself. All right, all you're doing is weakening your ankle.
That's fair.
All right,
I mean,
so-
I've just got the boots, so I'm like, I may as well use them.
Hiking is a hobby. I'm still a little bit stuck on that because it's something you do. Like
I know,
do it all
yeah,
the
and
time.
I still will do it. But I think, yeah, just like camping, hiking, I don't know.
Sure, that makes
Maybe.
sense. Like overnighters is not
Yeah,
your
it's
vibe.
just like I'd rather just drive to the campsite and just like get pissed. So that's
Yeah.
just the way my life's at.
At one point, I thought I needed a 4-wheel drive.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was
yeah.
seriously considering getting one. God, with hindsight being as 2020 as it is, I really never needed a 4-wheel drive. I really didn't.
There is one hobby that you haven't mentioned, Sammy.
What's that?
The guitar.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like I had that, I lost that, and now it's at a steady, like it's on life support, but it's limping along because I'm doing lessons.
Yeah.
But I'm doing lessons once a week, but that's the only time I play guitar is in that half an hour lesson. And then in between that, I'm meant to be practicing heaps. I'm not. And part of me is going, oh God, these lessons are pretty inconvenient. Always seem to come up when I'm super busy. So it's limping along life support. But I do think it's here to stay in some form or another.
Okay.
Because that's another weird one. I just have a weird vibe when it comes to hobbies because playing guitar is a hobby.
So you're uncomfortable with that word.
Well, I just don't know where I sit because I play guitar, but I wouldn't call it a hobby.
But that's also one of your lifestyles? If
I guess it's
snowboarding's
like
a
it's-
lifestyle, guitar's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of lifestyles that you're juggling.
Yeah, right,
And
right.
Is cycling a
That's
lifestyle?
my
No,
lifestyle.
that's not-
Right.
Right. Didn't you say you said to me before the pod that you had a hobby as a teenager that died off?
That's right. Because as a young teen, you know, there's not many things you can do without the help of your parentals. And so one thing I used to love doing was putting a wallet and a wallet and a speaker in a backpack, taking change and going to the mall.
Yeah. And that also, now that we're talking about lifestyles, that sounds also more like a lifestyle than a hobby.
It kind of
Going to
was.
the mall.
What, that being an annoying 16-year-old
At the
playing
mall.
fucking Hilltop
Kanye.
Woods and Kanye on your fucking UE Mega Boom and walking around the mall.
Yeah, because we'd just go and just hang out. It was kind of a crazy time to be alive. And I went to the mall the other day and I noticed one of our favorite haunts from way back when was Vegas Delight. We'd always run
Oh,
past
that's
Vegas
still
Delight.
one of my... Well, that's the
Baker's
only
Delight.
place I've ever put my resume in.
Really?
And I failed.
Oh, I was with you. You wanted
Yeah.
moral support.
That was
so-
the scariest moment, like genuinely one of the scariest moments of my life.
That's one of those like moments where you step over the threshold to being an adult.
I was
It's like-
14.
Were you
I
14?
had my printed out resume, which had fucking nothing on it, obviously. What would be on there? That I was like, that I can
SRC.
breathe. I don't know. I don't even think I'd been in the
I'm
SRC
still at
yet.
school.
Maybe
Yeah.
Duke of Ed
It was,
Bonds.
yeah. I think it was like, yeah, I'm at school.
You've probably had like your swimming ribbons on there or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. And I just remember being so fucking nervous. Like I was pacing back and forth in front of Baker's Delight, and Christian was like, "Just go in. It's pissy." And I was like, "No, I can't do it." And then I never heard back from them, and I never put my resume anywhere else again.
There are a couple moments like that from our childhood where it was like me, like, "Oh, mate, just do it," and then you do it, and it just flops.
Yeah,
It's like,
and it would just fail spectacularly.
What's the worst that could happen?
yeah,
Like when
at
I
the
applied
skate
to
ramp.
that job at that really fucking fancy bar, and Christo was like, "Mate, you need to get a job closer to your house. Like
Yeah,
go to like
true.
try and
Oh,
work at
yeah.
establishment bar, which is like the ritziest, wankiest, most corporate."
No, I said the Royal George, and then they were like, it's owned by Maryvale.
No. It was establishment.
Oh,
because
really?
someone we knew was like, "Hey guys, like there's jobs where I work at establishment bar."
yeah.
And I went in and did the trial shift, and it was genuinely like the worst hour of my life. It was fucking terrifying. I'd been studying like palm
I
cards.
studied, bro.
Because I was like, I had no experience doing cocktails, and it was a fancy cocktail bar. So I just had palm cards written down of like what the ingredients were of cocktails, but that's fucking useless.
Yeah,
Also,
that doesn't help.
once I was in the heat of the moment, that all went out the window. I think I remembered whiskey, fucking old fashioned, and that was it.
There's some guy in a gilet being
Yeah.
like, "Where's my Tommies?"
Legit,
And you're like,
and
"Oh,
all these
fuck."
people,
white, buddy.
yeah, all these people from it was like Friday night, and all these people from the local fucking like consulting firm came in with their like lanyards on, being like, "Come on, where's my margarita right now? Like, where's my Cosmo? Excuse me, like, what are you doing, man?" And I was just like, I'm so sorry," and then I kept having to ask the person who was like
dude.
running the bar, and then for some reason, even though they know you're on a trial ship, they don't want to help you. It's like, I need help.
Yeah,
and then there
yeah.
was like no table service except for those two massive fucking scary
Oligarchs.
blokes up the back who are only paying cash. They get table service because they were fucking like local fucking organized criminals.
Mafia Dom.
Yeah, legit. Anyway, terrifying.
crazy,
And then
yeah.
after they're like, "Yeah, I don't think you're the right fit for this."
It's like, yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. Anyway, Baker's Delight
Sorry,
is
yeah,
great.
Baker's still alive.
Yeah, well, it just does feel like we have space with potentially a group hobby. And so I'd like to float something because when I went by the mall again, I feel like we could maybe do a hobby where we do stakeouts or sort of an investigation because
does sound fun.
at the end of the day, I saw trolleys full of baked goods, baked items, breads.
This is the other day when you're at the mall.
Yeah,
Okay.
coming out of the Baker's Delight.
What end of the day? What are they doing with those? Chucking them out?
EOD.
EOD baked BG baked goods. And I would
What, are we talking Vegemite scrolls? We're talking finger buns? We're talking
they were in bin bags.
Yum.
It's impossible to see.
yum.
We could just grab a bin bag.
Well, that's
They
what
won't
I'm
miss
thinking.
one.
We could maybe go and stake out a Baker's Delight and just
See
have a
where
cursory
they
glance.
go.
What happens? Could we have that bread?
Because
Where-
also,
Where are they taking it?
well, and
don't know.
also if they are taking it to the bin, like
Sammy's
surely
in the bin already.
Yeah, or like one of us distracts them, like, "Oh, help me tie my laces. I forgot how to do it." And then the other person comes, grabs a bag.
Now is that stealing?
No, because it's going to the bin.
Well, we need to see it go
We
to the
need
bin.
to. We need to.
see it
We
go
need
to
to
the bin.
do a stakeout. Then we do it. You know.
But if it goes to the bin, are we still comfortable eating that?
Yeah, because in a bin bag.
If it's
And then
in a
are we
bin
going to
bag.
sell that on?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I think there's some money to be made.
That could be fine.
Especially because the podcast isn't making any money.
Can I put my hand up and say,
Yeah.
this morning I had a barbecue bonanza pizza,
Nice.
which is excellent.
You had
And
that this morning.
yeah, because I had to go up the road to get something. And I was like, I haven't had breakfast. Let's have a barbecue bonanza
Wow,
pizza.
what a breakfast.
And it had
Barbecue
just,
sauce on
it had
bread.
Hey, we had barbecue sauce on bread for B&E's at
Yeah,
breakfast.
well said.
But it had just come out of the oven, so it was like still like warm and soft. And I was like, this Baker's Delight slaps.
I fucking love Baker's Delight pizzas.
Dude.
Well,
I
they're not going to
fucking
be
love it.
warm when we get
No,
our
they
hands
won't
on
be
them.
warm. But what's better than warm? Unlimited.
They won't be crusty yet, though, will they? I think they'll be fine. I reckon we could
kinda
on-sell
like the
them.
crusty.
We take the lion's share, obviously, pig out,
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
Maybe even microwave some of them, have it warm.
Why don't we throw
Then
an
sell the
event
rest.
or something?
We have a
And-
patty.
We just have a like all
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
eat buff.
We have a Baker's Delight.
We have a Baker's tonight.
We have a Baker's
We'll workshop on
Delight
that.
tonight,
Yeah.
Midsummer Night's
Yeah,
drink.
yeah. We
Wet
do it
drink.
on midsummer.
We do
Too
it.
far
Yeah,
away.
that's
We fly to Europe and do it midsummer in Sweden when they have that freaky festival.
I think we do. Okay, it's a 2-day operation, really.
Yeah.
We stake out, then we take out, as in take out,
And then
the
we
bags
break out
Yeah. Our
but-
buns.
Yeah, our buns and show them to everyone.
and be like, guys.
I do want
eat
to
up."
flag, we will need to find a non-mall location because the internal bin situation, I think, is quite high tech.
But they're running like a plum bin in the back end there.
I don't think, well, I don't know.
Do they have
Wait,
like
so-
they go to like a shoot or something?
Yeah, it could be a shoot
So
situation.
you're worried that like the bins in sort of like a shopping center situation will be under more
Are
security?
you saying
Is
you're
that-
worried we can't scoot the shoot? Like, is that what you're worried about?
Yeah, I've never heard it in that way, but yeah.
Like, we couldn't scoot through the chute because it's like, too small for us.
Well, if you've seen Star Wars, they get into the chute and it gets bad.
It gets bad.
Let's
They,
not
they
do
go
that.
into one of those shoots?
Yeah, on some sort of shit.
Because when I lived in an apartment in Singapore,
Really?
and I was on level 22 as a wee lad, and they had that
nice.
huge rubbish chute
Out of how many? 22?
out of
Be honest.
probably 30.
Pretty high.
And then, well, it's not like it's more expensive the higher you go.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It was a pretty common man sort of apartment. Condo, they call it in Singapore. Anyway, I digest. But the chute, they had a big chute, and I always wondered what it'd be like to jump down that thing.
you would have died.
Yeah, I would have died, but at least I would die knowing what
That's
it's like.
true. Dying an honest man rather than
Okay,
a
so
filthy liar.
what do we need to like theory craft this out? Do we need to do a simulation, or are we just going to go into it?
I think we'll pick this up, maybe? Should we?
Okay.
We'll film it. We'll film it as well.
Film it. We'll
Okay.
do maybe we'll do a review after the stakeout.
Yeah,
but
we'll do the
before the
stakeout.
takeout.
Yeah,
And
we'll do
before
a
the
stakeout.
breakout.
But just
Yeah.
quickly, if I just pretend like if I'm the 14-year-old girl working at Baker's Delight, got
Yeah.
2 hands full of
Sure.
buns,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to put my shit in the bin. And,
Okay.
Okay, so
One
go.
of us makes a distraction. All right.
Okay.
But okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah. You're
pretend
walking.
I catch you.
Oh,
Walking.
hey, sorry,
Whoa.
excuse me. Tom, go.
Sorry,
Get
who
the
are you
bins.
guys?
Oh, you didn't see him. It's
was-
just me.
Hi, I'm a little uncomfortable right now.
No, don't be uncomfortable. I'm
Okay.
just. My name's Jimbo. Basically, I was just wondering if you have time to fill in a quick survey. I'm doing
Jimbo-
a uni assignment.
My parents tell me not to talk to weird men.
I'm doing a
who I
uni
don't-
assignment.
Okay,
Stop looking. He's not doing anything.
What's
Get them
what's
to
that
put
guy
down the bag,
doing?
Krista. Get them to put down the bag.
Sorry,
Okay,
I'm feeling really uncomfortable. I might have
Can
to
you? Sorry. Can you just fill in this
Don't
survey?
touch me.
I'm not
Don't
touching
touch
you.
me.
I'm not touching
Krista,
you.
don't
Why are you
touch them.
Okay, I'm not.
Don't touch me. What are you
Just
doing?
put
I have to leave.
Put down the bags.
Okay, just don't touch me.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay, I've put them down.
All right. Can you just fill in this Google Forms? It's just a
What?
survey
Okay.
for my uni assignment.
Perfect. Hands are full.
Yeah.
What's
Krista,
What are these?
break
What-
out.
Break out. Wait, my phone. Give
Oh,
it back.
shit.
No, I'm taking this as evidence.
Uh-oh.
Punch her in the head, bro.
I'm
You've
sorry, I
got to
didn't want to
punch
do
her in the
this.
head.
Oh my god! Oh
No,
my
no,
god!
you have to-
Oh my god!
On the
Oh my
ground.
God.
Get on the ground.
Oh my god! Okay, I'll do whatever you say.
Okay, yeah.
Just don't.
You want to die?
No!
It's a prank.
Dude, we were filming this
It's the
whole
Mates Rates
thing.
podcast. Have you not heard of us?
No, of course I haven't fucking heard of it.
Okay, okay, my phone.
Well, have a look at our Instagram.
Sure.
See that? That's good, huh?
Oh,
Okay, there we
okay.
go.
You're not
Run,
that
dude,
big.
run.
Get
Just
the hell out of here.
run.
But, okay, I'm calling the police.
No,
Okay.
I'm going
No,
to shoot
we're
you in the
calling
Okay,
the
okay,
police.
I'm not calling the
I'll
police.
shoot you in the fucking face.
Okay, pause.
So,
that's not good.
So analyze that. That went quite awry.
We shouldn't bring the gun.
Okay, don't bring a gun first of all.
yeah. I think...
Christo, you need to keep your wandering hands to yourself.
But yeah, I think that maybe getting them to fill out a form or a survey so they put the bags down isn't a bad
Oh,
idea.
that's your distraction.
Yeah.
Because we need hands free, but,
But
I
maybe
also
I
feel
should-
like getting the staff person involved, it's like it's not their business. We want to try and get this a clean
true.
crime.
What about just like a classic colored powder that you can sort of huzzah and then just disappear?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
smoke and mirrors.
Or like a classic hood-us, we just brick them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, no. Sorry, that's what I was trying to- let's not do that.
Yeah.
Well, we can
okay.
do smoke.
But I could dress up as like UNESCO or something, have the lanyard, have the
Oh,
iPad.
nice.
so why you're at the back of the shopping center with at the bins?
I was going home, but
Wait. Food. Is there a food waste angle? Is there a food waste angle on that?
What's that company called? Who does the
Oz Harvest?
Oz
Harvest? Yeah, dress up as an Oz Harvest.
We could
Hey
just
mate, yeah, your boss actually just told me that I was here to collect these.
wait. That's good.
Oh, true.
Sorry.
Because like you're not in trouble. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
A bit of
hand
Oz
them over.
Harvest. A bit of Oz Harvest stolen valor.
Dude, they won't
We're-
mind
we're
because
the yellow.
we're basically doing Oz Harvest, except it's just for our mates instead of like
Still
People who
people.
need it.
people who need it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Well, I guess we all need
But
food.
Also, Oz Harvest doesn't do bread. I've heard that somewhere, so we're just doing them a favor.
We're filling that niche.
Yeah, she won't know that. She's 14.
Also, I'm thinking, what if we get all of it blended up and then make it into like a mega Baker's Delight huge loaf? That's just everything mixed together. Anyway, that's another point. We should
That
probably,
is another point.
But is that Tony Robbins? He's trying to say something.
Oh, Tony's here. Guys, I'm loving the Baker's Delight stuff. I mean,
Thanks,
that's
Tony.
you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to help your friends,
We really are.
and you're trying to, break into those bags and just take a bunch out.
Yeah.
Tony, just while we're here, how many companies do you own?
I own 63 companies.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, pretty. Are you impressed?
Are any of those
Yeah.
Baker's Delight?
No, we actually own the competitor,
Brumby's
Bread
Bakery.
Top.
Oh, Bread Top.
Top. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
You like Bread Top?
I like the sausage ones, but they're all a bit sweet for me.
Yeah, that's great. I need your help, guys. There's a few people in the audience who are dealing with some crazy stuff in their life, and I'm realizing that you guys have got your lives pretty like sorted.
In the seminar audience, there's people in this room.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Our lives are pretty like good. We don't really need to like.
We're pretty plumb. I mean, it'd
Yeah.
be good to get paid for this podcast, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably not good enough to be like
Yeah,
a service that people pay for.
What the hell? You're not getting paid? Sponsors should really jump on the Mates Rates podcast.
And it's interesting you say that, Tony, because obviously in Marxist thought, value is derived by labor itself. So it's like we are
That's
putting
great.
in
That's
labor.
great.
So inherently this has value. But then obviously Marx like later had the epiphany that it's a combination of, subjective value and the labor that's put in.
You're telling me.
There's also its utility, and this has none.
A few people, other people in the seminar have got some situations in their life that they have to deal with, and I just wanted you to help workshop some ways that they can navigate them.
Sure.
I'm handing your friend Christo a list again. Oh, Tony, cheers.
You seem to be really part of this. Are you chummy with Tony?
Me and Tony chummy is a great way to describe
Tones and
I, essentially.
Yeah, regional tour.
But yeah, he's handed me like a couple like situations from
see you, Tony.
people.
He's leaving again.
Tony's going for a smoke break. He really shouldn't be doing that because he's
That's why his voice is so funny.
That's why he's so sharp. Though.
I think he also has like gigantism or something, but
Really?
yeah.
he's huge. It's weird.
So
Not weird, but it's atypical.
so we've got I didn't hear that, so let's
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I think we should do maybe a role play scenario. So we got a couple of people here. One person said, I assume their name is Matt. They are afraid to tell their ex-wife that they're dating someone else. So
These are real responses.
these are
from
real
our-
responses from people.
from Instagram.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking we can help them by doing a bit of role play. So one person will play
Seems
the
a little
mediator.
above our pay grade. That problem.
Sammy, look, well, that's
I'm
why
sure
we're
we'll figure it out,
workshopping.
but I'm just
Exactly.
like,
We'll get a pretty good one.
I've never
think-
married someone, let alone divorced them.
Okay. Well, maybe you can be the ex-wife then.
but- Okay.
All right. And Tom, do you want to be the someone telling them that you're dating someone else?
Yeah, sure. And are you gonna give us feedback?
Yeah,
real time?
I'll say stop, and then we can reset the situation if it's looking
Okay.
like it's going badly, and we can just like figure out the perfect response.
Okay. Cool.
So, Tom, first of all, where's this meeting taking place?
The Grammy after party.
Okay, cool. So it's like a cocktail after party. You see your ex-wife there.
Yep.
So presumably I'm like a heavy hitter in the
Oh yeah.
music
Oh
industry.
yeah, you are.
Oh, Billy? No.
No.
Could be anyone.
Could be anyone. So you're walking over to her.
Yep.
All right, I'll set the scene. I'll do some murmuring.
Matt,
Oh, sorry,
Matt, we said we weren't going to speak at this party.
Taylor. I know, but I couldn't help it. I just noticed you out of the corner of my eye.
Okay, Matt, fine.
Um,
What is it?
Taylor.
What is it? We
Taylor-
broke up 2 years ago.
I know, and I've just been thinking we should have a chat.
What, about the divorce papers that you still haven't signed?
Well, I'm pretty happy to sign them now, Taylor, because listen.
What is it, Matt? Spit it out.
I know you've moved on, and it was so easy for you, but so
Yeah.
have I actually.
I'm a heavy hitter.
Yeah, I know you are, Taylor. Look, Sabrina and I have a thing.
Sabrina who, Matt?
Carpenter.
Fucking bitch. Go on.
Well, I just want to let you know that
That's it. I'm gonna re-release my album so that Sabrina's not in the charts.
I would like to organize some sort of deal with you where we don't do that. Is that fair?
Fair's not the right word, but I'm willing to hear you out.
Okay. So here's what I'm proposing. As you as my ex-wife, I'm seeing someone else, and that's pretty much the short of it.
Oh. Well, you've already fucking said that, basically, with the whole Sabrina shabam.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
what
I'm dating an NFL player who's actually way more successful than you.
and that's fine. I
So
think,
honestly, I don't really give a fuck.
I think we're in agreement. I think this has gone swimmingly, and I'll see you next year.
Yeah. Well,
Wow. All right.
this doesn't solve the fact that you have a micro penis, man. But
Woo.
Okay, it's a perspective thing, Taylor, and
what is it? Forced perspective because there was a bigger penis right next to it.
no, because I'm so.
That's how they filmed The Lord of the Rings. It's
All
forced
right, I'm
perspective.
pausing this.
That's how they made the. Oh, sorry.
I was looking for places to come in there. I think like Matt, you let us know, but maybe that wasn't entirely useful because it was very specific to like Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter.
Is that who you were thinking I was?
Yeah. Was that?
No,
Oh
no.
you're Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, Taylor Lautner.
no, Taylor
Yeah.
Lautner's wife, Taylor.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He actually is married to a Taylor. So it's
Okay.
him. Her.
Yes. Right. Okay.
I'm
But
just
it
not sure
went-
what the problem is here. I feel like that was.
it went pretty well. Yeah.
It just proves that it's pretty easy.
It just proves
Yeah.
that you might have been blowing it up in your head.
like
and it won't
obviously
be-
we've never gone through a divorce. We don't know what it's like, but it seems
Yeah.
pretty
I
fucking
feel like you
easy.
just tell him, and then that was
Going
so
through a
simple.
divorce seems pretty. I mean, simple problem, simple solution, right?
Yeah,
Should we do have time for one more?
yeah. One more.
All right.
I'd just say Occam's razor. I just
Yeah.
remind him of
Just
Occam's
simple.
razor.
Just straight to the point.
The simplest solution is probably
This
answer.
this
and in
one's
this situation,
from
they moved on 2 years ago. So do
This-
that.
So what? Yeah, if you could just have moved on
Yeah.
2 years ago, and you both found new partners who were very successful, then it shouldn't be a problem.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Especially if they're
Especially
like,
the Grammy after party. What's the big deal?
and if
You're
they're
having
like
fun.
really big earners, it shouldn't be a problem. Grammy's obviously named after the gramophone.
No, named after a
Someone's-
gram because everyone's doing coke at them.
And that's why that little
I thought it was
trophy
named
you
after
get.
someone's grandmother.
Grammy.
No, that'd be grannies.
Would it though?
It's
Yeah,
the
it would.
Granny Flat Awards.
Agree to disagree, but that's fine.
Okay. All right. This one's from Barstool Carenza, and they're afraid to tell him I love him and saying he just wanted to be friends that hook up. So I assume they've got
this
to. So I
is
assume
better.
they've got to sort of like they're sleeping with each other, they're hooking up, but she's afraid to tell him that she loves that she loves him.
Nice.
but he doesn't love
But
her.
he's like, oh, I just wanted to like.
That's an assumption.
This is so easy. I think we got this one as
all
well.
right. Do you want to mediate?
Sure.
Or do you? All right. So maybe I'll be the guy, Sammy. You can be the.
Tom, I feel like you had some
Oh,
strong
yeah?
instincts about how it
Oh
was
yeah.
going to go.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to?
Well, actually,
Who's feeling?
I can do the girl so easily
Okay. All right.
because
Well,
she's the
sure,
one with
maybe
the
I
problem.
can mediate.
All right. You mediate. I'll be the guy then. So.
Just one more for clarity. I am in love with you, but you don't want to do that. You wanna
Well,
be
you're
friends.
not sure. You're
Okay.
just. It's an awkward conversation to have.
pretty sure that he just wants to hook up though.
Is
That's
that
the hunch.
okay.
Hunch.
Okay,
But it's
okay.
anxiety. We don't know.
Yeah.
And where are we? Have we just had sex or?
Yeah, at the Oscars after party.
Either I think he's just won an Oscar as well.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
he's- yeah.
Oh, that makes it way more
And we're back
stressful.
at the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go.
Oh my God, what a night. Holy shit. That was great.
That was amazing,
Thank
Leo.
you. Oh, yeah, thanks.
And I'm
Leo.
so proud of you for winning.
Pause. I just want to say, first of all, it's great to see that there's a lot of aftercare after this sexual intercourse that's happened. You guys seem to really appreciate each other.
I'd
Like,
just taken my AirPods out and after we'd had sex and
you'd been listening to a podcast while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But that's
The
fine.
human lab,
That's fine
probably.
because, yeah, probably human lab. But like everyone's got their own thing. Don't yuck at anyone's yum.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What was that, babe?
I just wanted to touch base. You know, we've had such a great few months.
You just did touch my base.
Right? You're fun. You're fun.
No, sorry. Let me put my AirPods away. Yeah. What's up?
I just wanted to get a temperature on you, really. Like, this is going so well, and we're
it's
seeing each
great,
other all the
yeah.
time.
Pause. Maybe you'd say you just did get a temperature.
I was thinking about
Yeah,
it.
because with your big thermometer being
yeah.
your. So we're not joking about penises anymore. I forgot. Sorry, play. Forget it.
Yeah, no, like it's super fun and like we're hooking up heaps and yeah, I love it.
You said love, and that's so interesting because I was thinking about that word a lot.
Oh, okay.
I like the way you said it. Did you mean to say it?
I said I love it.
Am I it? I'm happy to be it.
I love the way that we can, be friends and hook up and it's like totally cool.
Leo, I don't know if friends hook up at the Oscars after party. Because it feels like am I pushing with saying we're more than this?
The thing is, what was your name again, sorry?
My name is Georgia.
The thing is, Georgia, you're only getting older. And that's hard for me to put my mind to. It's hard for me to not think of like, oh, yuck, 5 years down the track. So I love it. Now, do I love you? It's a question for, another day maybe.
You got anything there?
Oh, sorry. I just got really. Sorry, pause.
Yeah.
I got really engrossed in that. I just want to say, Christo, really, the way that you portrayed Leo, I don't know the last name, but
Yeah.
really great. Pause.
Is that the best approach?
So I think, Tom, you need to come in with more understanding of like that he's a fuckboy and he just wants to sleep.
Sure.
So I guess how do you turn the tide, knowing what he likes and playing on his anxieties, turning them on him?
Okay.
Like, maybe play.
Okay. I just feel like, you're around the world all the time. And I just feel like you need a stable thing, And
It's true.
I'm so happy for you to sleep around in this relationship as long as you love me.
Wow, that's one hell of a deal.
And obviously, we're going to dial that back as things go on. But
Okay, sliding scale.
Pause. Leo, how's your environmentalism going to work into this play?
I'm just wondering about how that's going to affect my environmentalism, because obviously climate change is changing things a lot. So maybe
I feel like you may
we'll
be
all
scared.
die.
I feel like you're scared
I'm scared
of committing. I'll be a polar ice cap.
Okay.
I feel like you're scared because I might melt away.
Yep.
I'm not going to melt away.
I'll love
come
you,
to the
babe.
Fucking
Wow.
oath.
Wow, yeah.
Paul, I mean, stop.
End
Wow.
of. Yeah.
So how did you get? How did that?
You tied in his passion for the environment.
That's exactly right.
So to Barstool Corenza, that's what you got to do.
What are his passions?
Tie that in.
And
make
how
a
do you
metaphor.
fit yourself into that?
And that's a great way to go about life, you know, just like just don't even be, and nothing about yourself, you know, all about the other person.
Well done, guys.
Oh, Tony.
I'm back. That was a great advice for our listeners. And I thank you
Thanks,
all for
Tones.
coming to the seminar.
Oh, thanks for having
I
us.
thank you for having me here.
I just wanted to say, have a great time, guys.
Wow, thanks.
He knows
Do you have a phone number that if I had something to say to you, Tony?
Yeah, if you have to say anything to me, you can ring me on 8405-7936.
Really?
Was that correct?
Dave, is that correct?
I think that's correct.
8405 is 100%.
8405 sounds really good.
84. Yeah, that's correct.
I'm a genius.
Wow. And that's why we pay to fucking be here.
All right.
Have a great time, guys.
Have a great time.
Thanks, Tony. See you later.
Bye, Tones.